Welcome, chosen ones. The truest examination of your spirit doesn't occur within the confines of any institution. It unfolds in the quiet solitude of your personal battles, where the audience is absent and the stakes are immeasurably high. Remember this truth, for it precedes even the grandest designs of fate. Scientists estimate the human body's resilience to be around 40 days without sustenance. Yet consider this profound truth: your inner being has persevered through what felt like epochs of spiritual deprivation, yearning for recognition, solace, and clarity. Despite the trials, you remain a beacon of strength, standing firm and undefeated. This is not mere existence. It signifies a triumph over an invisible challenge that eludes the awareness of many. The unique nature of spiritual trials lies in their lack of preparation. There is no syllabus, no friendly warning such as tomorrow you will face a test of patience that will push you to the brink. Instead, life thrusts you into the crucible, awaiting to see if you emerge as mere ashes or are transformed into gold. You have emerged gleaming brilliantly. Ironically, numerous individuals falter, believing the objective is to evade suffering. However, you have understood that it involves enduring without sacrificing the essence of your soul. Divine favor is bestowed upon you not for choosing an easy path, but for remaining steadfast amidst pressures to compromise your principles. Honestly, if you faced a multiple-choice quiz during those times, you likely would have chosen all of the above just to expedite the process. But this was a crucible designed to strip away the superficial and reveal the authentic you. That moment has arrived. The experiences you endured were not random acts of suffering, but validations of your character. The reward is coming abundant and overflowing. Prepare yourselves, because this journey is not just about endurance. It's about unveiling truths that were hidden. Firstly, your worth was measured in silence, not applause. This is a critical point most overlook. The divine did not place you before an adoring crowd to assess the depth of your faith. Instead, you were deliberately isolated from the clamor, the affirmations, and the superficial accolades. The focus was on the choices you made when no one was present to validate you. It is simple to project loyalty when the eyes of others are upon you. It is easy to appear devout when incentives are offered or when your efforts are openly recognized. Isolation dissolves these veils. The trial was intended to determine if your principles could endure without an audience. If your dedication was genuine even when unacknowledged. Your success indicates that your faith is not a performance but an intrinsic part of who you are. Your capacity to withstand loneliness, silence, and rejection amplified your strength. You refused to allow these circumstances to dictate your decisions. In moments of darkness, when doubt overshadowed encouragement, you remained steadfast. You did not alter your beliefs simply because approval was absent. You did not abandon truth due to anonymity. These unseen decisions were closely monitored. Your triumph is invaluable. Praise can be easily manufactured or manipulated. However, your true self in isolation is undeniable and unadulterated. It represents the honest proof of your inner being. The divine sought tangible evidence of your ability to remain firm without external support. The silence you experienced was not punitive but an evaluation. It calculated your ability to manage blessings without being corrupted. By succeeding in solitude, you have demonstrated that you can be entrusted with increased responsibilities. The recognition that will soon be upon you is not merely human admiration. It is a celestial affirmation far more meaningful than any public accolade. You were tested in the absence of an audience, and you emerged victorious. The forthcoming blessings will not just be recognitions. They will serve as indisputable validations of your spirit. Secondly, you have proven your capacity to bear pain without inflicting it on others. This alone distinguishes you, as pain can often corrupt individuals. Many who experience hardship lash out, harming those around them for wounds they did not cause. You, however, bore the weight of your anguish without turning it into a weapon. This exceptional strength has been recognized as a profound accomplishment. The greatest challenge lies not in enduring the pain, but in preventing it from transforming you into the very thing you abhor. Anger naturally surfaces when betrayal cuts deep. Resentment can feel justifiable in the face of injustice. You consciously chose not to allow these emotions to dictate your behavior, enduring personal suffering without inflicting harm on those around you. This is what differentiates a wounded individual from one who becomes corrupted. It would have been easy to react, redirecting your frustrations toward anyone who crossed your path. Many make the mistake of equating the expression of pain with relief, but that only spreads the negativity that caused their initial suffering. You resisted that temptation. You have demonstrated the ability to suffer internally while still protecting those around you from the storm. This restraint does not come from willpower, but from an understanding that your spirit is far too valuable to be compromised. You are considered reliable because bearing pain without inflicting it upon others demonstrates the ability to handle power without abusing it. By enduring heartbreak, betrayal, and unfairness without becoming cruel, you have shown your readiness to receive blessings without succumbing to pride. Pain was your training, providing you with self-control, empathy, and emotional maturity. That is why the reward carries so much significance. You emerge not only alive, but with integrity and compassion. The trial was never about feeling pain, it was about pain changing your character. You have proven that even during times of suffering, your essence remains intact. For this reason, abundance will be poured into your life to heal and uplift others. This is because you will not use it to spread negativity, but to construct, repair, and improve. Thirdly, you ended cycles that trapped earlier generations. Your test was weighted with profound meaning for one of the deepest reasons. Your experiences were not just about your life. Rather, they concerned a pattern that was repeated throughout your ancestral line, one that trapped those who came before and set traps for future generations. Your family faced many trials, but instead of overcoming them, they succumbed to the pressure. Some became cynical. Others abandoned their goals or compromised their ethics. These failures triggered a chain reaction, producing a spiritual pattern that continued to repeat itself. You were born into the center of this same storm. Instead of being defeated by the storm, you remained firm. Your endurance became a turning point. Others yielded, but you resisted. Others surrendered, but you persevered. That is why your experiences were extremely difficult. You were struggling not only with personal difficulties, but with unresolved issues from your ancestral line. Your burdens often felt overwhelming as you struggled with battles that were not fully yours. However, you were trusted with these burdens because it was known that you would do what others could not bring an end to them. Passing the test means more than simply surviving your challenges. It means breaking a historical pattern of failure. By breaking this cycle, you not only liberated yourself but altered the destiny of your family. Future descendants will benefit from your strength. They will not have to overcome these trials because you will have defeated them. This is why the reward is greater than you can imagine. When you pass a challenge that involves generations, the benefits extend far beyond your life, creating a legacy. You are rewarded not only for your endurance, but for the challenges you have prevented. The curse ends here, the chains are broken, the cycle is complete. You are proof that failure is not inherited, but that destiny is. Future generations will live with increased freedom, strength, and peace because of your resistance to the challenges that consumed those who came before. Fourthly, you mastered silence without disappearing. Remaining quiet is often viewed as the only way to survive during difficult times. You transformed the quiet into a weapon of refinement. Each time you held back your thoughts, each time you resisted acting rashly, you were practicing precision. Your silence was not an absence, but a method of preparation. It sharpened your thoughts, strengthened your dedication, and enabled you to understand what others trapped by noise could not. This trial was not about remaining quiet. Rather, it was about becoming a master of self-control. Many view silence as a sign of weakness, as evidence that someone has been broken. However, you have shown that restraint can be louder than a cacophony of voices. You learned the importance of when to speak, how to speak, and above all, why. Your silence became strategic, amplifying your power rather than diminishing it. Your words carried authority because they were refined in times of quiet. Remaining silent in the face of provocation, betrayal, and misunderstanding is an uncommon challenge. It requires discipline, insight, and patience. You were not made to be silent by circumstances. Instead, you permitted these circumstances to grow your inner being. Your silence enabled you to discern the motives of others, to recognize the genuine from the superficial, and to understand how manipulations can often go unnoticed amidst the noise. This mastery of silence ensures that your words are heard not only by those in your presence, but by the universe itself. This challenge was not designed to erase you. Instead, it was to teach you the value of presence even in the absence of words. In a world that prizes making noise to prove worth, you have learned that restraint is one of the greatest forms of power. Your silence did not conceal you. Instead, it revealed your inner strength. It made your voice precise, deliberate, and unstoppable. You have demonstrated that true impact is made not by the volume of your speech, but by the wisdom of your words after a time of quiet. Fifthly, you overcame what was designed to humiliate, not just injure. The anguish you felt was intended to strip you of your honor and cause you to suffer public embarrassment. Those who caused this suffering did not intend only to wound you. Rather, they sought to fracture your sense of self, transforming your suffering into a source of public shame. This level of cruelty is not often understood. Overcoming it required exceptional inner strength. Overcoming mere suffering is one thing, but overcoming shame is far more difficult. Shame aims to persuade you that other people's criticisms can negate your worth. The challenges you overcame forced you to live with disgrace without allowing it to define you. You were tasked to maintain your integrity while everyone knew of your difficulties. That level of achievement requires more than endurance. Rather, it requires self-mastery under pressure. Enduring public humiliation is challenging, but you did it without losing your identity. You did not trade your honesty for others' validation, nor did you try to hide your discomfort. Instead, every attempt to belittle or insult you was a test of your capacity to remain yourself. You overcame the trial with your integrity intact, thus demonstrating that your sense of self cannot be stolen by circumstances. Abundance is given to those who endure not only the pain, but also the whispers that cause distress. Your success means more than just a release from discomfort. Rather, it validates that you have been shown to be unbreakable in every aspect. You have shown that you can pass through difficulties with both your pain and your honor intact. What was intended to humiliate became the stage for your resilience to shine. Sixthly, you protected your heart from the enticement of revenge. The trials you have experienced were designed to entice you to repay every wrong that you had suffered. The world depends on the notion that inflicting pain on others is a valid path to justice. You prevented anger from determining your actions. Strength is measured not by the effectiveness of hurting those who have hurt you, but by the extent to which you maintain your integrity. Revenge promises fulfillment and a way to gain control over the chaos that has been caused to you. However, you have not allowed your soul to be used for retaliation. Each time you experienced the temptation to hurt others, you chose restraint. You are victorious because you have displayed that the achievement of your goals does not depend on the defeat of others. This level of restraint is an indicator of spiritual maturity. You can live with pain without becoming corrupted. While the world may teach that power is gained by striking first, you have embodied the higher truth that it is preserved by refusing to compromise your essence. You did not only survive but transcended the urge to retaliate. By keeping your heart pure, you have demonstrated the greatness of your inner being. You have shown that your character outweighs the desires to win at the expense of your soul. You overcame the trial not because the world spared you, but because you refused to let the world corrupt you. Seventh, you chose obedience over outcome. The challenges you faced were measured by whether you would follow the right path even when it seemed useless and every sign pointed to disappointment. The world trains people to chase results and measure faith by immediate gain. But this test was about something deeper: loyalty to the source, not the reward. Your obedience was not transactional. You obeyed because you knew integrity, faithfulness, and alignment with the divine matter more than temporary outcomes. Choosing obedience over outcome is rare courage because it goes against the instinct to control or predict life. When results don't match effort, when doors close, most people abandon their faith or manipulate circumstances to force a win. You didn't. You stayed true even when the world mocked you, even when obedience seemed pointless. Persistence and faith separate survival from triumph. This test wasn't about gratification, it was about character. The divine wanted to see if you would remain consistent when your actions seemed fruitless. Obeying without evidence of reward shows your faith is unconditional. The source isn't impressed by compliance when convenient. The true test is remaining faithful when the outcome is uncertain, when life mocks your patience, when circumstances scream that obedience is a joke. By choosing obedience over outcome, you prove you trust the unseen. Your devotion isn't dependent on results, and your alignment with the divine can't be shaken by setbacks. Passing this test means your faith is unshakable, your character undeniable, and your reward inevitable. The world may measure you by achievement, but the divine measures you by truth, and you remain true. Your obedience was pure, unwavering, and triumphant. 8th, you learned the language of delay without interpreting it as denial. The waiting you endured wasn't punishment but training. The divine didn't withhold blessings to frustrate you. He was teaching you how to read the timing of the universe, how to understand that delay is part of a process, not a signal you were forgotten. Most see waiting as rejection. You held your faith steady, recognizing the pause wasn't personal and was shaping you for what was to come. Enduring delay requires more than patience, it requires discernment. You had to separate doubt from the truth that your timing isn't your own. Many fail this test because they interpret postponement as denial, acting impulsively, forcing outcomes, or abandoning the path. You stayed the course. You didn't let unanswered prayers redefine your trust in the divine. You learned to see the preparation behind the pause. This training in delay transforms endurance into extraordinary faith. Waiting develops discernment, sharpens judgment, and strengthens resolve. It separates those chasing a blessing from those prepared to receive it. You passed because you understood timing doesn't diminish destiny. Heaven's silence was a conversation. You had to learn a language that says not yet but soon, and better than you imagined. By learning this language, you protected your heart from despair and preserved your focus. You didn't rush, settle, or compromise. Instead, you allowed the delay to cultivate wisdom, resilience, and clarity. Your reward is assured. You didn't just endure. You learned, grew, and emerged prepared to receive what was meant for you. Your passing proves that when heaven pauses, it is perfecting. 9th, you became unbuyable. The trials you faced were designed to see if suffering could make you trade your integrity, purpose, or peace. The enemy wanted to test whether pain could make you compromise, whether desperation could make you settle for shortcuts, or comfort at the cost of your soul. Most falter, exchanging their values for convenience, applause, or safety. You didn't. You refused every attempt to purchase your surrender. Being unbuyable means your spirit cannot be corrupted. It means that no matter how tempting the offer, appealing, the shortcut, or loud, the crowd cheers, your soul remains untouched. The fire you walked through could not burn away your principles. The trials you endured could not persuade you to bend. You became proof that true power isn't about acquisition. It's about what cannot be taken. This is why your value skyrocketed in heaven's eyes. While others may be measured by what they achieve, your worth is measured by what cannot be bought or compromised. You demonstrated that your loyalty, integrity, and faith are absolute. The world may bribe people into betrayal, but you proved your spirit is not for sale. This resolve distinguishes you, setting you apart as someone the universe can trust with divine favor. Being unbuyable transforms you. So to wrap things up, remember that you've been through the fire and you've come out shining. You've proven your worth in silence, shown compassion in the face of pain, broken cycles that held back generations, mastered your inner voice, overcome humiliation, resisted revenge, chosen obedience over guaranteed outcomes, learned the language of delay, and become utterly unbuyable. That's incredible. You are ready for the abundance that's coming your way. This journey is a testament to your strength, resilience, and unwavering spirit. Now I'd love to hear from you. What resonated with you the most? Do you have a question, a story to share, or a reflection on your own journey? Please leave a comment down below. Let's connect and build each other up. And if you found this helpful and want to keep exploring these powerful truths, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. Let's keep growing and shining together, shining together, shining together, shining together.